today I have an episode that is quite the revelation that I felt. And essentially it's about navigating through life in a way that yields the desirable result. And how does one go about doing that? So a little backstory to this is essentially, in my life, I kind of felt like I didn't have the control that I wanted in life. And so I thought about control, like I can't really control my life to an extent. I can control what I do, but what happens after what I do, is out of my control. And a metaphor for this is essentially, imagine a boat. If I say I am in control of the boat, it is half the truth, because I can choose the direction that I want to go or sail, but the other is up to nature. And what I mean is, the water is not in my control. The wind, what's under the water, these are all outside of my control. But I am in control of what I do. And in the same way, I can control the direction that I want to go in life. And in the same way, I can control the way that I want the boat to go. Like, let's say I know that I want to follow the star, because that's the direction that inside of me tells me that I need to go that direction. I don't necessarily know where it's going to take me, but all I know is that I don't want to follow the south star, the east or west. Just for whatever reason, I know that that's the star that I don't want to follow. I look at those stars, and something inside of myself tells me I don't want to go that direction. And it's the North Star that I want to follow, and I want to go there. Now the cool thing is, like, what happens when I travel in that direction is that I don't necessarily know exactly where I'll end up at or what I'll find. So this is where the journey of life comes into play, because everything changes dynamically in life, and what happens, it's outside of my control. All I can do is just head down that direction. So now comes the important part of being adaptable and not being so focused on or fixated on one specific outcome, but rather have a desirable direction, like the north. I just want to go that direction and see where life takes me. So when it comes to being in control of my life, I had it in the wrong perspective, because I thought about it in a way that if I want to be in control of my life, I have to do X, Y, Z and do specific things to get my life in order. And here's an example. Let's say I want to stop playing video games. And let's say today, or I used to play 7 hours a day. But then I want to stop this behavior or this action that I do. So the next day I play for 6 hours and 45 minutes. And on paper and practically speaking, I'm not stopping because I'm still playing video games. But in a sense of the direction that I'm headed towards, I am improving because I'm playing less. Now the next day again, let's say I play for 6 hours and 30 minutes. I'm making progress. So my compass is not necessarily directly north, but it is here. But each day I'm adjusting it, and eventually it will hit that mark of stopping. So, but the time that it takes for me to stop depends on how much I want it to stop. And also the circumstances in life. Now let's put it into perspective. Let's say I want to travel north, but there's a storm happening. So there will be times where progress cannot be done, for instance. It doesn't seem to yield that much. And to look at it from a perspective of playing video games, let's say today I played 5 hours, but tomorrow suddenly I slip up and play 6 hours. That's okay. As long as I know that I'm headed towards north, aka I will stop playing video games, I'll be okay. Because not every day is going to be a perfect day where it's going to make that progress, but as long as I am making progress in the terms of the grand scheme of things, it's going to be okay. And that's where sometimes unexpected life events happen, and like a storm, for instance, and I won't be able to stop because, let's say, a new thing came out in the game and I get super happy and I want to try it out, and all your friends are playing and you're just having a blast, you know? So it becomes difficult to kind of keep it on the paper, or keep it down to the T, to put it that way. It's not going to be step by step every time. Sometimes we slip, and sometimes it's going to go back a couple of steps, but in other words, as long as it is headed in the right direction, it is going to be okay. And same thing in life. If I want to go in a direction that I desire, I have to ask myself, the action that I'm doing right now, does those actions align with where I want to go? Like in the same example, if I want to get fit and healthy, but I don't work out or do anything in that field, then I'm not going to get fit and healthy. So in life, same thing. If I want to achieve certain things in life, I have to judge whether or not those decisions and actions is going to be, or does it head down that direction? And if the answer is yes, then it's just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time before I arrive. I don't know when. I really don't care when. All I care about is the progress that it takes to get there, and to get there as well. Because it's not about getting there. It is about the journey, how I got there. Because imagine it in this way. Like if I wanted to stop playing video games, and suddenly, like I could just go cold turkey. But imagine the amount of suffering that comes with doing so abrupt. That has been almost second nature to me. So in other words, let's put it this way. If I love food, like I love eating food, for instance, and I want to lose weight, and I tell myself, you know what? I'm gonna go cold turkey. I'm not going to eat food for 2 weeks. go water fasting for 2 weeks, straight off the bat. The amount of sanity that this is going to cause is going to be out of this world. And it's not enjoyable that way because it's too abrupt. I mean, you could, don't get me wrong, but in a sense of more practical, and because, okay, when we learn how to walk, we have to crawl, then we walk, then we sprint. It has to go from like step by step. And it's much easier that way because let's say we go to the gym and we train, we increase our strength little by little. We don't go from lifting 10 kilos to 100 kilos. And if I were to try to even lift 100 kilos when my max is 10, I'm going to suffer. I'm going to have pain. I might hurt myself. So the point here is that it is about the journey. It's not about getting there. It is about how I got there. And in the journey of getting there is also the experience, and also getting to see how I evolve and the things that I get to learn. And speaking of learning goes the same way. I can't learn everything there is about a topic in a day. It takes time. It needs to grow. Like a seed just can't grow from a seed to a tree in a day. It needs to develop deep roots, and it has to develop a deep foundation, and it has to develop the infrastructure and everything before it can become a tree and yield fruits. So the point is to head in a direction that is desirable in life. It takes time, but also consistency, because if I don't keep track of me wanting to stop playing video games, then I'm kind of willy-nilly about the progress, and the progress will be willy-nilly about me. And imagine a ship again. If I want to go north and suddenly I turn south for 7 days and I go north for 3 days, I think I make progress because I'm moving north, but really I don't, because I move further down south than I do up north. And in life, you can eventually just run in circles doing this, because if I want to go north, I spend a month traveling up north, and suddenly I stand still and I move south for 2 months, and I go east for 3 months, and I go west for 4 months, and I lose track of where I am. And at some point, if I desire something in life, it takes time and consistency, and also understanding where I want to go. And as long as I head in that direction, I'll get there. And there's a lot of metaphors and a lot of perspectives about this concept, but it's very simple, in other words. And to sum it up, it goes like this. If I want something in life, I just have to head that direction. And using the boat metaphor once and for all, if I want to travel north, I have to go north. And I don't know where I'll end up, but I know I will end up in the north. I may or may not hit the dock exactly where it needs to be docked, but that's not the point. The point is I will get there, and then I'll see where the dock is. I might be a little bit off or way off, but I can adjust myself and eventually steer myself to the dock. And once I get close enough, I can be more precise and narrow down my control to dock exactly at the dock. And that essentially is the compass of life. And If you made it this far into the video, I'd like to thank you for being here and spending your time. And it's the beginning of a new year, and I hope that greatness and kindness comes your way. And that will be it for me today, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Cheers.